Good morning, everybody. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Hannes Wimmer. I'm the team leader of the European Evaluation Help Desk, and I would like to welcome you to the Good Practice Workshop, Methods for Assessing Impacts of Rural Development Programs 2007-2013. We would like to discuss with you today practices and solutions for the ex-post evaluation. This workshop is hosted by the Rete Rurale Italia, CREA, who are acting here as official hosts, and besides you, of course, we also kind of welcome all the representatives of CREA very much. There is a little change in the agenda. We are still waiting for the managing authority of the RDP Sicily, and also of the assessore. We were not sure how to translate assessore. It's the head of the agriculture department, the regional department. And as soon as they will come, we will also give them then the word for the opening speech. Just a few words for those of you who don't know us. Who are we? The European Evaluation Help Desk for Rural Development. We are one of the three support units of the EU rural networks. So we have the European Network for Rural Development with 2 support units. We are one of it. And we have the EIP Agri network, which also has an own EIP Agri service point as a support unit. And all these support units are kind of have contact persons and responsible units within DG Agriculture. So for those of you who know the organigram and the structure of DG Agriculture, our responsible unit is Unit EFOR, Evaluation and Studies, and we will also today hear a presentation of one of the representatives of this unit. Important always to say is we as the European Evaluation Help Desk, we are not the Commission, but we are actually a private body that has been contracted by the Commission to support DG Agriculture, but also the member states to improve evaluation of rural development programs. So this is really our mission. And we are working on the basis of an annual work program, which is agreed yearly with the member states and also with Unit E4 of DG Agriculture. We have a Brussels-based office with, at the moment, 7 people working in Brussels on a permanent basis. You will get to know some of the Brussels team members today. We also have a core team of senior methodological experts. Also, some of them are here today. These are the people who basically help us to develop these kind of guidelines, which maybe some of you may know. And we have geographic experts in all of the member states in order to organize for us and with us workshops and trainings. A brief overview about our activities. So first of all, we try to improve evaluation of rural development policy by developing guidelines for evaluations and also making them as practical as possible. So just also at the moment we produce a guidance for the 2017 report, a guidance for the evaluation of national rural networks, which is about to be published in the coming days. We answer evaluation related queries, and currently we have just started a new thematic working group that produces guidelines on the evaluation of LEADER CLLD. And our evaluation manager, Jela Trudovanova, who is also here, can also provide you some information on this in case you would like to know more. And also Magda Porter, who is the working group leader of that working group that is producing guidelines. We do good practices, we collect them, but we also try to discuss good practices like today with you. So this is one of our main activities also. We had just 2 weeks ago a good practice workshop on high nature value farmland. and now we have the third good practice workshop at the moment here in Palermo. We do training also, a yearly training in the member states on evaluation-related issues. But what is very interesting, we also do a training to EC desk officers, so that they look at evaluation reports according to the same logic as we tell you that you should actually do evaluations. We assess annual implementation plans, so the sections on evaluations, we analyze them, what member states report there, and we kind of contribute to evaluation-related events. And we also have a newsletter, a website, where we publish as many interesting articles on evaluation as we can. Why do we have this good practice workshop? Well, here I would like to tell you a very brief history, how it comes to this good practice workshop. The Evaluation Help Desk has done in 2011 a methodological assessment of MTE reports. So we have looked what have member states submitted as MTEs, and we have assessed the quality of these MTEs. We will today in one of the presentations hear a little bit also from the Commission what were their impressions from the MTE reports. I think I can already reveal that, of course, we have already in 2011, we have seen that for the ex post, there still has to be a lot to be done in terms of methodologies to make this assessment more robust. We have then in 2014 published these evaluation guidelines. And what is very interesting for you today in this workshop, or today and tomorrow, is that some of the authors of these guidelines are here. So they will discuss with you also, was this only theory what they have written there for the guidelines, or can it actually be implemented in practice? We have in October 2015 done a survey for the Commission. We have asked the managing authorities to inform us at which stage they are with the ex post evaluation by the end of October 2015. The majority of member states were in the structuring phase, so they were just kind of, a lot of them had not yet tendered out ex post evaluations, so they were kind of preparing evaluations. Since then, we have not heard a lot from the member states on the ex post evaluations, so the Commission was confident that member states are progressing well, but of course we also know from some member states that they are tendering out evaluations very late, and so for the evaluators, it's a very difficult job. They are lacking time, they are lacking resources, and then of course when we assess the quality of these reports, we have to see this in the context of what were the kind of conditions that the evaluators had. So in our new work program, it was actually also the Commission who asked us, please do something. We want to know where the member states stand, how the evaluators are progressing with ex post evaluation. So we included this good practice workshop on ex post of RDPs. A first reaction from the member state was that they say, oh no, from the managing authorities mainly, we don't have too many problems with ex post evaluations, so there is not too much need for exchange. But then actually we continued to ask, and then actually we had a lot of, we discovered a lot of questions that member states and evaluators had on the ex post evaluation, and we found out that it's needed to have this kind of workshop. So we asked, we always want to have these workshops hosted by member states. We asked our Italian colleagues from CREA if they would be interested to host such a workshop. And they, lucky enough, they accepted. And they even suggested to bring such an event, not only to keep it in Rome, but also to bring it to the Italian regions. So our colleagues from CREA, Simona, Alessandro, and Roberto, they suggested maybe the region of Sicily would be available to host this workshop. So we are very happy that Sicily accepted and hosts us here. So what were these kind of challenges, and what do we want actually to discuss? We want to discuss with you the methodological approaches that have been chosen for the ex post. also exchange on the usefulness of data that you as evaluators have used, and explore a little bit the robustness of the findings that you were able to achieve, or in some cases we will hear not all of the presented case studies are kind of finished, so some of them are ongoing, so we will also explore what kind of robustness will you be likely to achieve with the methods that you have chosen. We will listen tomorrow a little bit also what kind of quality criteria for sound evaluation reports has the Commission found. But we will also explore with you about your ideas on the quality criteria for good ex-post evaluation reports. And, of course, we have also asked, while registering, what kind of expectations you have to this ex-post evaluation workshop, and we have summarized this in at the moment still an internal little working paper, which is very interesting both for us but also for the Commission. And I think Vincenzo can just give us a brief snapshot. What do participants, what do they mainly want to know?
Thank you, Hannes. Just a very quick overview of what you expect from the workshop. Actually, there were, as far as we got into the survey, some general expectations on management, design of evaluation and implementation of methods. And regarding to methods, we found that you are kind of very interested in knowing more about the quantitative, for instance, PSM, DID, analysis of big data, but also we found that you are expecting much on the qualitative method, on the use of qualitative methods and how you can take advantage of this. Especially when you are to refer, you have to refer to evaluation of axis 3 and leader, so quality of life and leader. Then there was also some remarks about what are the expectations of the European Commission for the ex-post evaluation reports in general. And something that was also very interesting was, of course, to get some useful information about how to link this programming period and the evaluation done during this programming period with the one that is that has to be done for the current programming period, the 2014-2020. Finally, it was, of course, there was some stress about how to gauge the net effect, which is a big question. And in the end, there were someone who asked for having some hints on how to report, how to structure the report. But in fact, I would recommend to go on our website, because actually we published, as Hannes pointed out, guidelines on the ex-post evaluation, and it contains an outline of the reports. I think that just to close this brief overview, you asked also how to build a network, and then how to build a common understanding. And I think this is one of the two major goals that we are trying to achieve today. And indirectly, I would like to say that we may give you some inputs for also answering a nice question that was posed, that was how to assess the quality of an independent evaluator. So maybe you will get some information about this as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Vincenzo, for this brief summary of your expectations. And now let's see how we are addressing these expectations, so basically how we are structuring these 2 working days. We are at the moment kind of trying in the first session to set the frame. So we have talked about the objectives and also about your expectations. The next presentation will be that we hear from the European Commission what are their expectations from the ex-post evaluations that will be submitted by the end of the year, but also to inform us how is the Commission actually using these ex-post evaluations. So why is it important, not only at the member state level? I mean, we all want to make evidence-based policy, and kind of ex-post evaluation is a contribution to it, but also at the European level. We will be informed how the Commission will use these ex-post evaluations. We will then hear from Jela Trodovanova, our evaluation manager, and also by Simona in a kind of an interactive presentation. They will introduce us to the methodological challenges of ex post evaluations. This is a kind of highly conceptual but also very important part, because it ensures that we have a common understanding in these 2 days. If we talk about certain terminologies also, like, I don't know, assessment of net effects, what do we really mean with it? So Simona and Jela will introduce us to this and will also open the discussion to you so that you can also intervene. We will then have a lunch break, which will be here. Shortly before the lunch break, I will hand over also to Giovanni, who gives us some organizational details concerning the evening, concerning the guided tour and the social dinner for those who have registered. We have a lunch break here. We'll get some snacks, and we start at 2 o'clock with the case studies. We will have case studies from Latvia, from Sweden, from Portugal, and from Estonia. And after the case studies, we have short discussions, question and answers. And after the question and answers, after we have concluded all case studies, we will have a reflection round. Actually, I just see that the case studies actually even start before lunch. We try already to introduce to some of the case studies. The day ends at 18:30, and optionally we have kind of organized a guided tour to the Teatro Massimo at 19:15. We will get the details about it later, and also the social dinner at 8:30. A brief outlook to tomorrow. Also tomorrow we start earlier than today actually. We will continue with 3 case studies from Cyprus, Austria and Italy. And we will also on the 3 case studies we have a reflection round. And then at 11:15 we have a session first of all on how to answer evaluation questions in the ex post evaluations. So a little bit tell you what are the challenges, but what are the kind of possible solutions that we have here. And we will have a presentation from Sari, who will inform us about how the Commission plans to assess the ex post evaluation reports, what kind of quality criteria will be used, and how this assessment of ex post evaluation reports, how it is actually kind of organized. I think that's also very interesting for you to see also when you submit the ex post evaluation reports, what happens actually with these reports inside of the Commission. And we will tomorrow end the day at 1 o'clock.